Hi, my Libra risings. If you are new here, I am the Tarot Dragon, and on this channel, we do random tarot readings whenever I feel called to do them. So in today's reading, we are going to be looking at what is next in love for Libra risings. If you don't have a Libra rising, that's totally fine. You can go to my channel and check out the video for your rising sign, and if the message there does not resonate, then sorry, there probably just isn't a message for you in this mini series. So how this reading is going to work is we are first going to look at your energy at the time that you're finding this reading, just to kind of give you a better idea of whether this reading is truly for you. And then we're going to see how you're being represented in this next phase of your love life, plus what's actually happening, what's coming next in your love life. And then we're going to use the tarot cards to get more specific details / advice depending on what message comes through in the oracle cards. And then we'll finish off with one final message. So if that sounds interesting for you and you want to keep watching, then let's get right into it. So to start, we're going to look at how your energy is being represented at the time that you're finding this reading. And for that, we have the dilettante. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I never really know how to say that, but I think it's dilettante. Your light attributes are delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits, and the shadow is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Okay, and then we're going to get to tarot cards to clarify. So Spirit, how else are Libra risings being represented at the time that they're finding this reading? How are Libra risings being represented at the time that they're finding this reading? How are Libra risings being represented at the time that they're finding this reading, Spirit guides? The Two of Wands. How are Libra risings? Okay. And the Eight of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So I think at the time that you're finding this reading, I feel like you are, like, regarding your love life, you kind of have this outlook of like, let me just be open, let me just be curious, because I think you've recently gotten out of either a very intense talking stage or like an actual relationship. I think you invested into somebody emotionally who eventually ended up not being the kind of person you were looking for. I think you ended up giving a lot more than you received. And so now you have this mindset of like, let me just explore, let me just keep my options open and see what I stumble upon. You might have downloaded dating apps, or you might be going out to places more where there would be people your age who are maybe like single or something. Like maybe you're going out to clubs, or I don't know where else other people meet each other, things like that, parties, that kind of thing. I think you're just being social, fun, creative, like you're putting yourself out there and just like being very open. And like maybe dating casually because there was something really intense that you walked away from, and now you just want to kind of be open. But I'm curious as well, maybe part of, I wonder if like the energy that this gives me is that you're distracting yourself a bit. Like you don't want to think about whoever this person is that you just broke up with or who broke up with you. You don't want to think about that talking stage. Like you just want to preoccupy yourself with other people, with other connections. You might also be like posting videos of yourself going out on social media and stuff in hopes that like your ex will see it or that this person will see it. Because there's this feeling of like, I want to be doing something else. I want to be open, but at the same time, I think a lot of you is still thinking about this other connection. So at the time that you're finding this, you maybe have just ended a relationship, ended a talking stage, and you're looking for something new. You're looking for something fresh to explore, to get into. I'm just gonna take a quick look at this camera and see how are these cards positioned. Okay, I think that's okay. But yeah, okay, so if that sounds like you, then we'll keep going. But I do want to say too, with the 2 and the 8, it's making me think of Taurus and Scorpio, and specifically how they're opposite signs. So with you being a Libra rising, there could be like an Aries, like Aries might be a significant sign. That doesn't have to be the case though. But yeah, let's continue now and see what's coming up next for you. So To start, your energy in this next phase is being represented by the magical child. The light attributes are seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And for the shadow, we have pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. We also have Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Wow, really beautiful cards. Wow, okay. Deep quiet, meditation, and stillness. We have attachment. And we have angel of time, working too hard. Oh, I don't know where to put this. How shall we do this? I feel like it should just go here. How did I do it before? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Can you give me one moment? I'm trying to think. Did I have two cards? I feel like there was a way I was doing these cards, and I can't remember. Why it's uneven now. How did I do it before? Maybe I had... Oh, I think this is how I was doing it, but I liked how it looked before. Perhaps we shall go like this. Yeah, that feels right. Okay. So what's coming next for you? So I think you, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Eat, Pray, Love. I have not, but I'm thinking of, like, I think I know the trope of that movie. If I'm not mistaken, it's about this lady who just kind of like drops her life and goes like on a, like, wants to explore different countries and eat like food from different places and just kind of like free herself a bit. I don't know if that's correct. That could be very wrong. But that message is what I feel here. I feel like you're in this next phase, you might find that you, like, for example, if you have been going out to clubs a lot and you've been drinking a lot, or you've been like very obsessed with how people are seeing you, how people are perceiving you, especially this ex or this person that you're, okay, I'm sorry, I gotta fix this. This doesn't feel good to me. I have to do this differently. Okay. Yeah, so, oh wait, why does it look right now? Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. I definitely feel like, you know, if you've been posting on social media hoping that this person's gonna see, if you've been maybe tweeting things, like indirecting them, you know, I don't know if people still say that, or if you have just been like going out in hopes that people will talk to you and almost, oh my god, there's a person here. I've never noticed this. There's a person here and their hand, wow. My whole life, well, like the year or two that I've had this deck, I thought it was just like purple lights. My goodness. Wow, okay. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, I feel like you're becoming a little bit less fulfilled by that though, in this next phase. There's this feeling of you do want something deeper, because part of why you're even in this, like, this energy of like, oh, I just want to talk to people, you know, kind of distract myself, you know, go have fun. Part of the reason why you're in this energy to begin with is because of that ending you had with that connection where you had to walk away, or they walked away because it just wasn't working. But I think the reason why you were hurt before is because this person was not pouring into you the way that you were pouring into them. They weren't making you feel as emotionally safe and excited as you were making them feel. Like, you felt like there was not an equal give and take. And so you're realizing in this next phase that what you need to do is give yourself back that energy you were craving from that person, right? Because what you've been doing with like all the, you know, going out, dating and stuff, I think that's really fun for you, and it's been, you know, maybe helping you be more social, make new friends, build your confidence back up, or whatever. It could be different for everyone watching, but one thing that it's not doing is fulfilling your need for like a deep connection. Like with this working too hard card, Angel of Time, there might be this feeling too in the back of your mind of like, oh, like it's making me think of what is the saying, or oh, like, I don't know why I said what's the saying, not what's the saying. I think that there might be this like I don't know what the like phrase is or what the word is, but it's almost like you might be trying to prove to this person that you're moving on faster than them. You know what I mean? But all the stuff that you're doing with all this mechanics going on behind in this card, it's like you don't really need to do all of that. I think what you're discovering in this next phase is that what you're actually craving is maybe something more related to nature or meditation or just quiet time rather than like overstimulating yourself with loud music, with drinking, with like with excess. There's nothing wrong with that also. Nothing wrong with going out to a club or, you know, doing your makeup, going out, whatever. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I think what you're realizing what you need at this time regarding love is to connect with yourself, not to look like you're realizing that basically the way that you've been acting is not fulfilling you. And with this attachment card here and this mask in this card, I don't know, I guess this plant kind of blocks it. But what I'm seeing with this is you're recognizing that you're being chained to this person from your past, but also you're being chained, like you're refusing to let yourself grow and evolve. You see, I feel like you discovered something about yourself within this connection here. You realize that perhaps this unequal give and take is not for you. You realize that you do need emotional intimacy. You realize you do need freedom. You do need to feel, you realize that you want freedom, but you also want emotional connection. You don't want something superficial, but at the same time, you don't want something too rigid, right? It's like you discovered a layer of yourself. And I think that's why this couldn't work. But now you're almost, part of you is like fighting the urge to actually develop that intimacy with yourself, to develop that curious, excited, like adventurous part of you because you're really worried about how this person's going to see you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I think too, with this meditation card, Deep Quiet, like give yourself some more quiet time during this next phase. In fact, you might crave it. Like you might, okay, I'm specifically imagining like somebody who has like a hangover, and so they can't stand listening to loud music, or they can't stand being around bright lights. Like they want to be like in a quiet place without a lot of music, without a lot of sound. And you might find through something like that you actually really do, really like just being in your own essence. Yeah. I think too, you're realizing that you want to be with somebody who can grow with you. Like a big part of what this next phase is for you is discovering what you want out of a connection, and also giving yourself what you want as well. It's like both. Like you're realizing, oh yeah, like I need someone who can provide emotional intimacy, but I also got to be emotionally intimate with myself and be honest with myself about how I feel. It's like you're doing both, which is awesome. And I think you're discovering a lot of this through your meditation time, through your quiet reflection, through your journaling. Perhaps you're realizing, this card is making me think that maybe you disguised parts of yourself in order to be more palatable or more likable to others. Because this magical child energy, it's so cute and I love whenever I see this card, but there are a lot of people who would not like this kind of energy, because this is to me, it's a spiritual card, very spiritual. It's very loving. It's very pure and faith-driven, hope-driven. And people who are, you know, in this energy, people who don't have hope, people who don't believe in anything ever getting better, or people who are maybe just mean or very practical, very rigid, a little too grounded, they might see this energy as childish, immature, useless, that kind of thing. But I think you're discovering that, and I think that you've discovered through this past connection, and also in this next phase, you're going to be realizing how much you maybe push this energy down in order to be liked. Is making me think of like, you know, being a mermaid, but then maybe covering up your fin or tail, whatever it is, and putting on human legs, kind of like Ariel, you know, like getting human legs so you can walk on land and then be with your prince. But it's like you can't, you're realizing that you can't do that. not even that you don't want to do that anymore. It's like through this process, you're like, I can't do that. Like, I cannot pretend to be something I'm not. I can't keep shutting down or shoving down this really beautiful, optimistic part of me. This is who I am, and this energy is how I free myself. I'm almost seeing, I think it's interesting that there's two images here with gold wings. And this one, they're like regular wings, and in this one, they look like there's machinery in there. Which is making me think, I mean, in some ways you can interpret this as being like maybe more strong or more hard, like powerful if it's metal. But at the same time, I feel like this is a card of, with these wings, it's making me think of someone doing an impression. Oh, even the outfits make me think of Wednesday Addams. I don't know, Wednesday Addams can be significant. But it's making me feel like this is who you actually are, these pretty natural golden wings. But then either you are like, you've been mechanizing them, or people maybe are copying you. I just feel like there's this feeling of you're getting uncomfortable with not being yourself. Like, it's no longer something you can stand doing, which is awesome, because this means that you're going to grow, and you're going to start to really love who you are and really love the kind of life that you're living. But this process might be deeply uncomfortable, because it's going to force you to walk away from stuff. And one thing I noticed, or one thing that I think too, is that you might find that even if something had happened to you like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were a kid, when you are reflecting on it now, it might seem like it just happened yesterday. That's how strongly you might feel things. Like, you might be very emotional, very just, you believe in yourself, you believe in people. I think you might make wishes a lot with these little like dandelion looking things. Yeah. What's coming next is a really interesting period for you. Definitely a healing period, but the more positive aspects of the healing is being represented here. I feel like this is more about like you being nudged toward living this really cute life that you feel in your core, and you building the kind of life that you want to live for yourself. You know what I mean? But let's get more information. Spirit, can I see also, these cards get so stuck together. I've had this deck for so long, they like, oh my god. It's kind of gross. I feel like I should shuffle it. Spirit, what else do you want to add? Ooh, about this next phase in Libra Rising's love life. I shuffled these cards before too, but I just want to shuffle them again. What else do you want to say, Spirit? What else do you want to add about what's coming next in love for Libra Risings? We have the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Holy, beautiful. Wow, didn't I say making wishes? That could be significant. And what do we have here? The Nine of Cups is a card that talks about wishes. And with this Ace of Cups, I think what you're wishing for is, like, I mean, I saw it in your current energy, but you are wishing and hoping for, like, something new, something more, like, something sweet and fun that can distract you. But I feel like what you're actually going to be getting in this next phase is some deep shit, like deep healing and like genuine joy, genuine happiness. And I like, you know, this Nine of Cups also talks about peace, like feeling of being content, even though you're not completely where you want to be yet, you're really content with where you're at, and you've gained a lot of wisdom along the way. And so I think you're recognizing, like, part of the wisdom you're recognizing is that a new beginning in love, a new beginning in relationships can happen whenever you decide. And it can happen in a variety of ways. Like, for example, you might start practicing self-love in a way that you never really thought, or you might meet somebody and develop a connection and you're like, oh wow, I never thought that it would happen this way. Or, oh wow, like, I didn't realize that I really enjoy being treated like this, or that I don't like being treated like this. Like, you are, and you already have gained a lot of insight about what you desire, and it's helping you. Like, the wisdom you're gaining is helping you make better choices for relationships in the future, so that you're no longer sticking around in toxic connections, or connections that don't fulfill you. And even you know, what comes before the Nine of Cups is the Eight of Cups. So it's like I think part of what's also happening in this next phase is you are gaining wisdom about the situation. Something is going to be adding up for you about this. So if you have felt betrayed by a person, or if you betrayed them, or if there was a lack of reciprocity, maybe there was a lack of honest communication, whatever it might be, you're going to be gaining a wisdom about this. Like, you're going to be understanding it on a deeper level, maybe being able to forgive, or at the very least being able to move on more wholly. There's definitely, like, this is going to start making more sense to you. If you've been feeling confused about it, don't worry, it's going to make more sense in this next phase. What else is next for Libra risings in their love life, Spirit? What else is next for Libra risings? Hey, you're getting lots of two. Wow, Ace of Wands. Whoa, okay. Okay, Ace, 9, 9. Wow, that's wild. Ace of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. This is really awesome. So I think if you are wondering how to like jumpstart this process, well, truthfully, you're already in it. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is just what's happening. What we're seeing is just a natural consequence of your current actions, you know? So it's kind of like the way that you've been acting, eventually you're going to get kind of irritated with it, and then you're going to kind of embark on this healing journey yourself. And really it's a healing journey, but really it's more so just you living and then being like, oh yeah, this is really fun, or oh no, I don't like this behavior, that kind of thing, right? That's what it feels like to me, at least. But with this Ace of Wands and Nine of Pentacles, I think one thing that could help you jumpstart this, or maybe feel like you're making progress more quickly, is to focus on your material life, your material abundance, yeah? Which is interesting because we had the meditation card earlier. So it's kind of weird that this is coming out, but I feel this so strongly. Oh, I guess this kind of makes sense. Yeah, I think when I look at these two cards, like, I think so that was a lot of breathing. Part of what can help you, oh, there's even a face here. I mean, I think there's a face. I guess, I don't know if anybody else can see that, but it looks like there's a face there. But I think part of what is going to help you release attachment is meditation and journaling. But anyway, what I felt though with this Knight of Pentacles is that I think for you, you really got to pay attention to how you're treating your body at this time, and how you're supporting yourself. Because I did feel for a lot of you that you're going out a lot. Maybe you have a really messed up sleep routine and you want to fix that. Maybe you've been drinking a lot and you want to slow down. Maybe you've been like really overstimulating yourself. Like, because to me the Nine of Pentacles is very calm, hardworking, but very calm and just kind of in their own vibe. But I feel like for you, at least recently, there's been a very like I don't say frivolous, kind of like all over the place energy, which I don't think is a bad thing. Because in fact, that all over the place energy makes me feel like the Ace of Wands, like that dilettante energy gave me Ace of Wands energy in a lot of ways, where it's just like you're creating just for the sake of creating, and you're really just letting yourself be, which is awesome. However, Ace of Wands energy is quite chaotic sometimes, because it's like a spark, and depending on where you light that spark, it could either just be like a little flame, or it could set off a bomb. Like, it could be anything. But when you're grounded, and when you are taking care of your body, when you're taking care of yourself, you can really ground this kind of energy and use it for what you want. That sounds really like abstract. So I'll give you an example. Like, you know, maybe one really random creative urge you've been having is to like buy really big canvases, and then buy paint, and just like take the paint with, I don't know why this is what's coming through. Take the paint with your hands and like throw it onto the thing, and just onto the canvas, and just see how it shows up. Like, I'm imagining a giant canvas just throwing paint. Actually, that might be a really nice, like, get your anger out type of activity. I don't know. Anyway, but you know, if you're grounded and you're being practical, you would probably ask yourself, like, okay, where could I do this? You know, I probably shouldn't do this in my bedroom because I'm gonna get paint everywhere. I should probably do it outside. Okay, what kind of paint should I buy? How much does it cost? Maybe I'll get three things of paint, not 20. Like, basically, you're being grounded. You're understanding how much money things are gonna cost. You're recognizing that, you know, there are other people that are also that might be involved, that you got to keep into consideration. Or for example, if you do want to go out to a club still, and you want to, you know, go do that, then you're asking practical questions like, okay, well, if I have work tomorrow morning, maybe I shouldn't get, you know, blackout drunk. Or okay, if like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're considering the practical elements of your life so that you can practice this Ace of Wands energy, be creative, follow your urges, and live a life that's more like lively, but without damaging yourself and your life in the process. Which is awesome, because this is telling me that you're being open to life and you're really living, and you're also not forgetting all the lessons that you've been learning. This is really awesome, Libras, like amazing, or Libra risings. I don't know why I feel like you might have a little Capricorn in you. But anyway, what's next? What else is next in love for Libra risings? What else is next in love for Libra risings? What else can they expect? What else can Libra risings expect, Spirit? The Five of Cups. Ah, the Ace of Swords in the back of the deck. God, these aces, they won't let me live. What else? Can I clarify that Five of Cups, please? Can we clarify the Five of Cups for Libra risings for what's coming next in love? Can we clarify the Five of Cups, please? The King of Wands, okay. Interesting. So I do think it's possible that for those of you who are really creative and you have your creative outlets like art, music, dance, whatever, that might be a really good outlet for you to deal with this Five of Cups, like heartbreak energy. But what I also feel like with this King of Wands is that you are confidently facing what you've experienced, and you're recognizing that even though you may have lost a lot, you still have yourself, which depending on who you are, depending on what you've been through, that might be a really annoying message to hear, because it's like, damn, like really, like, it's kind of like when people say like, sometimes when people say like, oh, just do affirmations, I get this feeling where I'm like, bro, really? Like, what is that supposed to do? But to have yourself and to have your own back is a really powerful thing. And to be confident in yourself and to believe in yourself is a very, very powerful thing. And this reminds me of that magical child card, but it's the King of Wands, and and right now we're looking at the King of Wands, which I think is interesting, because to be the King of Wands is more mature and more confident, and more powerful than the magical child. But I think that just goes to show like how much you're growing. You know what I mean? Like how much faith you have in yourself. Like I think you really believe in your mind, and I meant to say that, but also like that's kind of, wow, kind of powerful of a statement. Like I really do think you believe yourself. You believe in yourself. You believe in your thoughts. You believe in your creativity. And that belief you have in yourself is really powerful, because it's helping you have the strength to face whatever you've lost, but also it's giving you the faith to like, to try something new, you know? Because like when you go through a hard breakup, or when you go through something challenging, it is really difficult to move on and to put yourself out there again, because the pain that you experienced is so intense. Like, for example, if you like how it can be really hard for people who get out of a relationship to start dating somebody new, or it can be really hard to like if you're working, like if you get fired from a job, or if something happens with one of your coworkers, it might be really scary to go back and whatever, right? I don't know, like it just depends, but you know what I mean? Like it's hard to put yourself back in that place, because it can be triggering, and there's fear there. But you are quite courageous and very confident, and I think that this skill is coming in very handy for you in this next phase. Like you're going through it, but you're not letting it completely destroy you. You are using this to your advantage. Like you're looking for the silver lining, not even the silver lining, you're looking for like the power within this experience, and you're growing from it, which makes a lot of sense, because when we first started with the Ace of Cups and Nine of Cups, like I do feel like you're like, even the fact that you're going and meeting new people and maybe going on dates and stuff, despite having this that connection end, whether it was like a partner or a talking stage, like the fact that you're still going out there speaks volumes, because you're very confident. And even if part of you is doing it just to distract yourself, it's like that you're still going out there. Like there are a lot of people who will end a talking stage and then like not talk to anybody new for like a year, because it's too much. But you're very much like a, nope, I'm putting myself out there, like like I know this sucks, but I'm like, and also it could be pride. I mean, the King of Wands is a very kind of sometimes arrogant or prideful energy, so they could be pride that's making you keep going, or what is the word? It starts with an R. Not revenge, but shoot. When you do something out of, I can't think of the word right now, out of spite almost. Like, it's making me think of like people who, like someone who's like if somebody said, oh, you would look terrible with blonde hair, but then you're like, you know what, out of spite you dye your hair blonde and you look amazing, or you know what I mean, like that might be what kind of drives you sometimes, is that feeling of like, no, like they can't see me down, or no, I'm gonna do it in spite of them. But either way, it's working because you're facing what happened and you're really letting yourself move on and see what you still have for yourself. I want to finish off with 2 cards, well, from the tarot. Spirit, what else is coming next in love for Libra risings? What else is coming next in love for Libra risings? Oh my. Oh, of course. The Ace of Pentacles. What is this? 4 of Cups. Do you realize how bamboozling this is, my Libra risings? Do you recognize how you have 3 out of 4 aces? And before, I don't know where the Ace of Swords is now, but before the Ace of Swords was on the back of the deck, when we pulled the 5 of Cups, I almost lost it. I was like, bruh, that's a lot. Like a lot of fresh energy for you. Which is awesome. Damn, maybe this connection really had you down then. Because I almost feel like these aces were being withheld from you. Actually, with this 4 of Cups, yeah. Not withheld per se, but I think you unintentionally were blocking a lot of your blessings by being with whoever this person is. And that does not mean that they're like this terrible, evil person. Maybe to you they are, and you know what? You feel however you need to feel. But rather what I mean is, like, I think by being with this person, you maybe felt really low, felt really down. Like you could have been really depressed when you were with this person too, because they had you really out of alignment. Like you have a very light, fun, cheerful energy. Like people might call you bubbly a lot, or like you might also have like really rosy cheeks. I don't know why I just saw that in my mind. Like you might be like, your face might turn red, or like blush, or you might blush easily. But I think that there was a lot being offered to you. Maybe not, okay, not even necessarily. The feeling that I'm getting here is like when you're with this person, you maybe were less social. You could have been like in a hermit energy. You were kind of just to yourself. Maybe you spent a lot of time trying to please them, focusing on them, focusing on fulfilling their needs, but they never reciprocated. And so that was really hard. But with this 4 of Cups clarifying the Ace of Pentacles now, like I think in this next phase, like you might be, the one thing that might be really hard for you in this next phase is committing to any one thing, you know? And I'm not surprised because we, you know, for your energy at the time that you're watching this, we had the dilettante, and part of the energy here is like, you know, you don't have to be a professional. You're just kind of like doing things just to do them, being creative just to be creative, right? And then for your energy during this next phase, you have the magical child, which, you know, whenever I think about this card, I imagine like a very airy / watery energy. This feeling of like you're there but not really there, like you're kind of elusive. Oh God, oh, I thought that was a bug. That scared the shit out of me. But with this Ace of Pentacles and 4 of Cups, this makes me feel like although you might be open to things emotionally and you might be open to just trying new things, I think you're not really wanting to commit to any singular thing right now. Like your interests might change really rapidly over this next phase. You might find that you don't want to be in a committed relationship, which is totally fine. You might just want to date around. You might find that you're 1 week you really love painting, 1 week you're like, I just want to watch Netflix all the time. Like I want to start listening to this kind of music, like blah, blah, blah. Like I think there's a lot happening creatively and internally, but in terms of committing, you're just not in the vibe for it. Like you don't want it, and that's okay. But also consider how maybe your refusal to commit, or not your refusal, but, you know, consider how you not committing might actually be like, again, a fear-based decision. Because with this 4 of Cups here, sometimes this card can talk about being very bored with life, but also the way that I'm seeing it here, which is one of the first meanings I learned for this card, is that you are really, like, you feel like nothing is going to satisfy you, or nothing is going to fill your expectations, or I guess that's the saying, like nothing is going to meet your expectations the way that whatever it did in the past. But in this case, what happened in the past did not meet your expectations. So I don't think that that's what you're worried about. I think what you're worried about is this thing not fulfilling your expectations. Like you're afraid of repeating the past because you're so focused on the past. Like I think, and I know that you're doing a lot here, right? And like this is all very new energy. There's a lot happening in this next phase, but because it's so new and so fresh into your life, there could be like this deeper feeling of like, oh, since none of this is official in my life yet, since none of this has become really woven into the fabric of my life, then then I must. It's like it's like, oh, like I might have gone on 3 dates the past month, but I'm not dating any of them officially, so so I'm still, so like it's fine if I'm like thinking about my ex so much. Does that make sense? I'm phrasing that in the worst way possible, but it's almost like there's this reinforcement happening where, because everything is really new in your life, sorry, not really everything, but because you have a lot of new insights coming in, you have a fresh perspective, you're really curious, you're creative, because that new energy is here, it makes you feel like nothing is that serious, almost like everything is just kind of playful because it's all fresh. But at the same time, the fact that it's not like you're not, oh my, hold on. I'm definitely making this more confusing than it is. Let me chill for a second. Okay. Okay, let me say that. I'm gonna try to say this because it's so clear in my head, but my words are not doing it justice. It's like a part of you is still dealing with what was lost, right? With that failed talking stage, with that ex partner, that kind of thing. A part of you is still dealing with that and healing from the pain that that situation caused you. But because you're healing that and you're honestly in a lot of ways still focused on it, I think the fact that your attention is focused on that thing makes you feel like that's all that there is out there. Like, have you ever noticed the more, like, this is a terrible comparison because it doesn't really make, it's not the same thing at all, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think it might help clarify what I mean. You know, like when you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat any more chocolate. Like, I'm not going to eat chocolate for a month. You know what? I'm just not going to do it. Now all of a sudden, every day of the fucking month, you're thinking about chocolate. Like that's all you can think about. It's like, I want chocolate. I really want sweets right now. Like, or if you tell yourself no more fast food, all of a sudden you're craving fast food all the time because you're telling yourself you're not gonna have it. But by thinking about it so much, it like reinforces the fact that you do want it. It's sort of the same thing here, except you don't actually want it. Like you're healing from this thing, but because you're thinking about it so much, it's almost like your mind feels like that's all that there is out there. And so you're afraid to commit to anybody because you feel like everyone is going to kind of turn out like that Eight of Cups situation. But I guess the message here is like, be open to new opportunities coming your way. You don't have to commit immediately. The Ace of Pentacles does not necessarily mean commitment or like this is going to happen for you for sure. What it really talks about, the energy of the Ace of Pentacles, is like the potential for something long withstanding or the potential for something concrete is available to you now. To me, the Ace of Pentacles, the perfect explanation would be if somebody offered you a contract for a job and they said, you know what, we're going to give you this contract, you can work with us for 5 years. You know, if you take that contract and you accept and you sign, great, now you have this job secured for 5 years. But if you say no, or if you just don't sign the papers, then you're not going to get that job, right? The Ace is the job offer. The Ace of Pentacles is you getting admitted into a university, but you still have to decide whether you're going to go there or not. You know what I mean? The Ace of Pentacles is somebody proposing to you, but you decide whether you say yes or no. You get what I'm saying? So remember that. Remember, you don't have to commit to anything immediately. You can explore, just see how it feels, see if you like it. And if you do, then keep establishing it into your life, and then maybe one day you'll decide, yeah, I do want this in my life for a long time. Like I want it here. Like don't allow fear or past experiences to get in the way of what could be a really beautiful new addition to your life. Let yourself experience. And I don't feel like this is really that strong of an energy. To be honest, these 4 cards feel like the main presence here, like what's really happening for you next. But these two, the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, I think this is something in the back of your mind that might drive some behavior where it's like, oh, this is so fun, this is so cool, but because you're afraid of committing to anything, it kind of, this Ace of Wands, like it kind of allows you to change your mind much more frequently, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like change your mind as much as you want to. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But also keep in mind that if there is something that you do want in your life for a longer time, then don't be so quick to push it away. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we're going to finish off with one card from this deck here. This is just a final piece of advice to leave with you. So Spirit, what advice do you have for Libra risings in their love life? What advice do you have for Libra risings? Wow, okay. We have the Magician with Conjuring. So Magician, that makes me think of Gemini and Virgo placements because the Magician in tarot is associated with the planet Mercury. So we're going to read the little message in the booklet here. What card is this, Magician? Oh my. So maybe the grandmother card is significant as well, because I just opened the deck to this, I opened the book to this page, and this is also on the back of the deck. So that could be significant. I'll hold it up if you do want to read it, but I'm only going to read the Magician card. So here's the first page of grandmother. And here's the second page. So, okay, we're going to start with this like message here. To tap into the magic of manifesting, you must begin with a clear intention and a strong belief. Lately, your intentions have either been absent or muddied and fragmented. This is no doubt due to considerable stress and the circumstances you find yourself embroiled in, which have left you feeling victimized and powerless. Under these conditions, it's easy to fall back into conditioned doubts and uncertainty about your capacity to manifest what you want. This leads to a lack of clarity and focus, not knowing what to ask for and what actions to take to achieve your goals and objectives. Yet, when you pause for a few moments, you will know you have the power available to make these choices. Slow down, close your eyes, take a few long, deep breaths, and ask your spirit guide what choice will truly serve and benefit the greater good. Listen with your heart and that still, small voice, and you will receive the answer and encouragement to make the right choice and set your intention accordingly. Then your actions can align with the will of spirit, and when they do, miracles occur. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is actually really cool to see this card, plus, you know, all these aces here, and plus the King of Wands. And you had the magical child, which the word magic, you know, is coming up a lot. Yeah, like, your intentions do matter when it comes to manifesting, right? Oh, this is interesting. It's almost like you're manifesting, but then you're like not wanting to accept your manifestations when they come through. Which kind of confirms what I felt earlier, which was like the universe was trying to bring you stuff back when you were with this person, but because of how things were going, it was hard for you to receive it, or you weren't putting yourself in the right situations to actually receive the gift or to receive whatever it is the universe is trying to give you. So if you do like manifest, or if that's one thing that you're getting more into with this magical child energy, if you're practicing witchcraft, if you're wanting to manifest things, you are doing a great job of setting your intentions, of putting that out there. But when it comes to actually accepting, there's fear that comes through. Like, for example, you might be manifesting a partner, or you might be manifesting more happiness, but then when it shows up, you're like, oh my, like, okay, I don't know about this, like, you know, maybe I'll try it, but I'm gonna kind of hold back, and consider how you might be doing that. Like, how are you holding yourself back from receiving what you've been asking for? It's making me think just in general too about Gemini and Virgo, like how Gemini is the air sign, Virgo is an earth sign, and how like you might speak things into existence often, but once that physical form appears, you're like, oop, I don't know about that. I don't know, like, what if it gets taken away, or what if it ends really poorly? So yeah. Whew. Okay, Libra risings. I'm going to be leaving your reading here. Thank you so much for watching this reading all the way through if you did. And if you enjoyed it and you want to support me somehow, feel free to like this video, comment down below telling me how it resonated, or subscribe to my channel, or do all three. I will appreciate anything, or nothing. If you don't want to do any of those things, that's fine too. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. I hope that you liked this reading and that you got something out of it. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this reading, and I hope that you come across my channel again. Bye!